I'm Keith Stroup. I'm legal counsel at NORML, and I'm the old guy that founded the organization back in 1970. We started it as a consumer lobby. We wanted to represent the interest of responsible marijuana smokers. Back then, all marijuana smoking was treated as if it was abuse. In other words, you were a drug abuser. Whereas with alcohol, they always had use versus abuse. So when I got out of law school, I spent a couple of years working around consumer advocate Ralph Nader. I just graduated Georgetown Law School. And he turned me on to the concept of using your law degree to change public policy rather than to practice law in a traditional sense. And the issue that I was concerned about, I first smoked marijuana when I was a freshman at Georgetown Law School in 1965, and I've been a regular smoker ever since, so I think that's 43 years. But at any event, it seemed important to me that we figure out a way to end marijuana prohibition, and we needed a lobby to speak up for responsible marijuana smokers. Now, it took us a lot longer than we expected. To be honest, we thought we could do it in about 10 years. It's been 43 years, but we are finally winning this battle. And as you know, here in Washington and in the state of Colorado, we now have full legal marijuana for adults. I think we literally won their hearts and minds, re-educated the public. It was a slow go. The year we started NORML, Gallup did their first survey asking how many Americans support legalized marijuana, and there were only 12% supported it, 88% opposed it. So obviously you can't win political issues if you only have 12% of the vote. But over time, people grew up, they knew marijuana smokers, they became more aware that the whole Reefer Madness campaign had been based on pure mythology. So by now, most people in America know marijuana smoking is no big deal. Whether they smoke it or not doesn't matter. Only about 14% of the public smoke marijuana, but yet we have the support of around 55% of the public for legalizing marijuana. It's not that they're pro-marijuana, it's that they realize prohibition doesn't work, and so they're anti-prohibition. So the biggest two things that have happened in my lifetime: first, last November, when Colorado and Washington voted to fully legalize marijuana regardless of why you smoke. And then just the past couple of weeks when the federal government said, even though there's still a federal law against marijuana, they said if the states are careful and they follow those laws carefully and that they minimize diversion to the other states, the federal government's going to stay out of it. They are going to allow Washington and Colorado to fully implement these new laws. So effectively, we've won this game. We're just acting out the end game right now. Oh, I think probably it'll take 5 to 10 years to fully legalize marijuana throughout the country. It's going to take longer in the Midwest, it's going to take longer in the South. But once you have a few states where they have legalized it and where they're not having any problems, in fact, they're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. So I think once a couple of states do that, the other states are going to pretty quickly. It's sort of like gambling. You know, there was a time when you could only gamble in Las Vegas and in Atlantic City. Over time, every state figured out, we might as well legalize gambling. I think the same process we're starting down right now with marijuana. Yes, sometimes we get so caught up, and again, I've been a marijuana smoker for 43 years, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. In fact, I think it enhances my life. But it's important for people to understand we're only incidentally talking about marijuana. We're really talking about personal freedom. And so what we have won in these states is we have won a measure of personal freedom for the tens of thousands of people who do smoke marijuana.